Guys, it's KJ from the Scariest Movie Ever channel on YouTube. There's been a lot of news here lately, of course, about WikiLeaks. I was never really interested in WikiLeaks. I didn't really look much into it. And I'm mainly talking about the new releases over the last few months. And don't get me wrong, I appreciate it. I appreciate that WikiLeaks exists and is getting a lot of truth out there. But a lot of the stuff they were getting out there on Clintons and politics and everything else, to me it's stuff that most of us already knew. But then suddenly I found an interest in WikiLeaks, because I saw a name in these WikiLeaks that I recognized from a video that I did myself a few years ago. That name is Marina Abramovic. The video I'm talking about is this one right here, Naked Lady Gaga Cast Spell in Viral Video. And you can see at the bottom of the page that I published this 3 years ago, August 9th, 2013. And in this video I covered a lot of information on Abramovic. And right there you can see that's Lady Gaga practicing what they call the Abramovic method. In this video she chants a really bizarre rhythmic tone. She's posing naked and presenting a lot of the typical Illuminati symbolism or satanic symbolism while she's at it. Before I continue, I want to give you a warning, because a lot of people commented on this video, and I even mentioned it as well. Be careful when listening to this weird tone that's in this video. It quite possibly could be a triggering tone. I don't know. These are strange frequencies these people are dealing with. More importantly, though, this goes back to something I've talked about for many years. So we are literally dealing with Satanists, with witches, with sorcerers, with witchcraft. This is spiritual warfare. So this story went mainstream really fast. As I said, I was never really that interested in WikiLeaks in the first place. I felt it was just kind of telling us stuff that most of us already knew. I mean, it's still good to get it all out there, right? All the political stuff for the masses. But you know, my interests usually lie in other places outside of mainstream politics. So again, finding this lady, Marina Abramovic, who I did a video on 3 years ago, finding her mixed up with all this stuff with these politicians in this WikiLeaks was absolutely fascinating to me. As I said right here, this is from theguardian.com. This story went mainstream really fast. There's a lot of people have been doing videos on this. And I think that's a great thing. Again, what we're seeing here, guys, is something that I've been talking about for years, many of you have been talking about for years, the mainstream never really latched on to. But this is, once again, proof. This is proof of the connection between our political systems and Satanism. So I've got several other things I want to show you as well, but first let's check out this article right here. An email from the artist forwarded by Clinton's campaign chief has been seized on by the right as proof that the Democratic candidate has links with the occult. Performance artist Marina Abramovic has become an unlikely source of fear for right-wing groups after her name was mentioned in the Podesta emails. In a leaked email between Clinton's campaign chairman John Podesta and his brother Tony Podesta, an invitation from Abramovic is forwarded. It reads, "I am so looking forward to the spirit cooking dinner at my place. Do you think you will be able to let me know if your brother is joining?" The act of spirit cooking involves Abramovic using pig's blood as a way of connecting with the spiritual world, to cook up thoughts rather than food. A video of the practice shows her writing various statements with the blood, such as, "With a sharp knife, cut deeply into your middle finger and eat the pain." Abramovic is known for work that focuses on pain, blood, and the relationship between the performer and the audience. Her work has won many awards, including the Golden Lion at Venice. The email has caused shock within some Republican circles, with Alex Jones' new site InfoWars calling it, quote, "one of the most disturbing WikiLeaks revelations to date," as well as stating that reports that the FBI agents see Hillary Clinton as the Antichrist personified now make a lot more sense. Abramovic spoke about the reaction to Art News, saying, "I'm outraged because this is taken completely out of my context." She said it was just a normal dinner. It was actually just a normal menu, which I call spirit cooking. There was no blood, no anything else. We just call things funny names, that's all. She also claimed that those referring to her body of work as satanic are mistaken. She says, "My work is really more about spirituality and not anything else," she said. "I've been doing my work for so long, and this is a misunderstanding. It's absolutely outrageous and ridiculous. I mean, this world is really turning to hell. I am completely amazed something is taken out of context for this purpose of winning. We are living in such a strange world." And that concludes the article. And what you're looking at right here on screen is actually more of her, quote, performance art, more of her work, right? And here's just another example of one of those cakes. I mean, look at that. That's absolutely horrifying. This is a butchered body. And it should come as no surprise we find a very popular Illuminati tool, and that's Gwen Stefani here at the so-called art exhibit. And if you didn't already know, you can just put in any search engine Gwen Stefani Illuminati, and you'll get hundreds of examples of her putting forth the most common Illuminati symbols, or really satanic symbols. So Gwen Stefani is yet another one of these satanic sellouts to the system. And as for Abramovich's reaction to all this news, remember, these people are liars. They are deceivers. They are never going to tell you the truth. But the truth is coming out regardless. Whether they want it to or not, it's coming out right now in a big way. These people are sick. These are reprobate minds. I'm going to show you something else here. Again, these people are liars, and I've said it for years. We're dealing with witches, with sorcery, with spells. So let's take a look at the ingredients with this spirit cooking. So of course we have blood, right? And then we have breast milk, and we also have sperm. Where else have I seen these ingredients? So this is just one example. You can research this all you like, but you'll have to look more into witchcraft and Satanism to see why body fluids are so important. And this right here in particular is about menstrual blood, semen, and urine. I personally have been researching this kind of stuff for years, among a lot of other subjects as well. What's really interesting though is that you'll find a person's name that turns up time and time again when dealing with spells, in particular when dealing with spells related to body fluids. I'll just read this here, the first sentence. "The frankest discussions of the uses of these substances in magic will be found in ethnological treatises on folk magic. The, quote, ceremonial high magicians of the late Victorian era," there's the name, including Aleister Crowley and his cohorts. So now this comes to us from Infowars.com. They did an article on this as well, but check this out. What is spirit cooking? Spirit cooking refers to a sacrament in the religion of Thelema, which was founded by Aleister Crowley and involves an occult performance during which menstrual blood, breast milk, urine, and sperm are used to create a, quote, painting. According to Marina Abramovic, if the ritual is performed in an art gallery, it is merely art. But if the ritual is performed privately, then it represents an intimate spiritual ceremony. Now this part's really important as well, because it's a subject we cover a lot on the channel, and that's of course the duality. The as above, so below paradigm we see in all forms of entertainment, advertisements, music videos, you name it. But check this out. The ceremony is meant to symbolize the union between the microcosm, man, and the macrocosm, the divine, which is a what? Representation of one of the prime maxims in Hermeticism, as above, so below. Abramovic is also known for her often gory art that confronts pain and ritual. Her first performance involved repeatedly stabbing herself in her hands. The next performance featured her throwing her nails, toenails, and hair into a flaming 5-point star, which she eventually jumped inside of, causing her to lose consciousness. All is being revealed. I've been saying it for years. The veil is lifting. Well, look at this. I mean, all is being revealed. We've been saying it for years, that we are run by, a lot of people say Illuminati, or you can say Satanists, very high-level Satanists, witches, sorcerers. So of course it should come as no surprise we see connections here with Jay-Z and Abramovic. So as long as we're connecting the dots, we can connect these dots right here. Now we find Jay-Z connected back to Aleister Crowley, wearing his shirt, "Do What Thou Wilt." And of course this comes from Aleister Crowley. All of these satanic performers, these satanic artists, they revere Aleister Crowley. That's why we see him turn up so many times. This is from Tyler, the Creator. Then of course we have this right here, one of the Jonas Brothers, and he's got his Aleister Crowley shirt on. See, here we have Illuminati tool Lady Gaga hanging out with Abramovic once again. But look at this, right? God only knows what's really going on here. But we see this theme coming up time and time again around Abramovic, right? It's violence, death, blood, bodily fluids, magic. And the Lady Gaga connection with Abramovic shouldn't be a surprise. You can, again, put that into an image search, and you'll see a lot of pictures of these two together, and of course, a lot of the same Illuminati symbolism that we see with so many of these satanic artists, satanic musicians, satanic actors and actresses. They have to represent their master. And again, with connecting the dots, we find this picture that hangs in Podesta's campaign office. Take a look at this picture. Are you starting to see a theme here? Once again, folks, to me this stuff is huge, because it's what we've been talking about for years. And think of all the people that mock you and ridicule you when you try to tell them that it's literally Satanists that are running things. Satanists that have infiltrated every level of our government, of our entertainment business, of everything. This is why you're seeing so much of this stuff come out. All is being revealed, the veil is lifting. And before you start thinking this is a bipartisan thing, it is absolutely not. Both parties are involved in this stuff. Let's not forget that just several years ago the Republicans actually turned the stars upside down on their logo. The star right side up representing man, the star upside down representing the Baphomet, or the devil. Also, let's not forget what Newt Gingrich said. He dropped a lot of truth on this. Remember, he said that Republicans didn't want Donald Trump because he wasn't a part of the secret societies. Right here it says he's not a part of the club, but he literally said he's not a part of the secret societies, which meant he's uncontrollable, or he hadn't been through the initiation rites. Now, as for how much that story was controlled or not, that's not my point right here to make. The fact is that he put it out there, and the fact is that most of us already knew that this was the truth, that everything in politics is run by secret societies. Just a few more things I want to show you here, but again, folks, this is all spiritual warfare that's taking place. And in this case, I'm referring to American politics. Some of you may remember this Wiccan ritual that they performed for Bernie Sanders. And I thought this story was interesting as well. Donald Trump faces new threat as witches and pagans plan to exert mental influence to persuade him to quit. But of course, look at the picture down there, okay? Now, I know we need different confirmations for when these people use these symbols and if they really are representing something satanic. So I'm not sure exactly in this case, but I think it's very interesting that with this particular story about witches and pagans, they have Donald Trump down there doing the 666 symbol with his hand. Is it staged? Is it not? Was it meant to be that way? I'm not entirely sure. Once again, I just think it's very interesting that it shows up here in this story. So then we follow up that story with this one right here. Pastors say there's a concentrated satanic attack against Donald Trump, and they're praying to stop it. So once again, folks, don't be mad at me. I'm not a part of this left-right paradigm. I'm just showing you these stories and the fact that this is spiritual warfare. Now, to me, connecting all these dots ends up in the same place, and I've covered this subject a lot on the channel. It's this explosion of demonic possession we're seeing all across the world. But check out the title of this story. It came out on November 1st, 2016, just a few days ago. Brownsburg priest who performs exorcisms says the number of people requesting them is on the rise. And then there's this story here from BBC from October 2016. Exorcism in Italy, a job too scary for young priests. So again, folks, to me, the spiritual warfare is exploding. And all these weirdos, sickos, perverts, reprobates, they're all being exposed. Everything's being exposed. I've said it for years, the veil is lifting. It's good to know this stuff. It's good to see this stuff because you can realize who the real enemy is. The oldest enemy of humanity that ever existed, the devil itself. People mock, people ridicule, they make fun, they think this stuff's a joke. Fair enough. Fair enough. Some people are never going to connect with this stuff, and that'll be to their own detriment. This is a spiritual battle, and we all have a choice to make. And I'm grateful that everything's coming out. I'm grateful that everything's being exposed. And I hope it helps you. I hope it helps you to see all this for what it really is. But this is the mindset. These are the kinds of people that are really running the show. Not just politics, but entertainment as well, and everything in between. And it's all coming out. And that's all I've got for you, and I hope it helps. So thank you very much for checking out the video, folks. Take care out there, and I'll talk to you real soon.